The art world can be a fiercely competitive place, particularly for those artists whose work is unusual or not well known. Imagine, then, the relief local artists feel when they find an organization where the only competition is the friendly kind, and the guiding principle is cooperation. That's just the sort of spirit found in the Naples Art Crafters, a group of artists and fine crafters founded more than 40 years ago, solely to host art shows and support one another. Ask just about any member artist, and the answer is the same. This is a great organization.
It's a very nice group of people. Basically, they all get along fine, and once in a while there's a screwball in it. But most of the time, they get along very fine. They all work together. They help each other. We put on great shows.
Charles O'Neill is one of those artists whose work is out of the ordinary. He creates Scherenschnitte, the German art of scissor cutting. His cuttings of animals, trees, and even houses are intricate and awe-inspiring, particularly when he explains that every part of the cutting is connected.
It's all one piece. That's why everything has to be connected. One time I did an antique car, and I put white sidewalls on it, and the wheels fell out. You have to realize that a white sidewall tire has shadows, even though it's white, but it has shadows worked in it. So then you work those shadows, and the shadows will hold it in. And that's been one of my biggest things that people talk about, is how I shadow things.
O'Neill has been participating in the Art Crafters outdoor shows ever since he joined the group in the early 1980s. At the events, his work always seems to draw interest.
They walk up and they're totally amazed that it's been cut. A lot of that. There's a lot of appreciation of it.
The shows not only provide a chance for O'Neill to show and sell his own works, they also allow him to keep up with what his fellow artists are doing. That aspect, he notes, strengthens the sense of camaraderie.
It's a great organization to be in. You get a chance to promote yourself, get involved. They want you to get involved to do things, and it's just a good feeling. It's not a cold outfit, you know, where you feel that you're not part of it. You feel like you're part of it, and you're doing things too. And people want to volunteer to help because they like it.
Ruth James is another Naples artist whose work is both eye-catching and unusual. Although she does traditional paintings on canvas, she is best known for her chart art, which involves painting on nautical charts. She developed the technique after finding some old charts at a flea market.
I bought them, and a little while later, I painted a pelican on one of them, and I put it in an art show, Art in the Park or one of the other ones, and it got a big reaction. So I thought, I may be onto something.
James begins by sketching her chosen designs on tracing paper and then positions those drawings on the charts to get the best composition. Finally, she paints them in acrylics. What most attracts folks to her art is the unusual background the charts provide.
As a matter of fact, you could sail your boat with my paintings.
Like O'Neill, James joined the Art Crafters in the early 80s. She quickly became so involved that she assumed leadership of the group.
I've been president 3 times, vice president several times. I think I've held every office except treasurer.
The main attractions of the group are the camaraderie of the members and the outdoor shows held once a month from October through April.
Well, we usually have, during the season, maybe 70 artists and craftsmen, maybe a little more than that. And we're basically half artists and half craftspeople. We have wood carvers and jewelers, scissors art, potters, just all kinds of crafts. And all of them are good.
The quality of work at the Art Crafters shows is what initially attracted potter Annabelle Johnson. She became aware of the group while taking pottery lessons at Edison College in the late 1990s.
The time I was there, they had a poster that was hanging on the wall, and it was about the Naples Art Crafters and that they had art shows. And I thought that if I worked really, really hard, maybe over a couple of years, I could get good enough where I could become part of the Naples Art Crafters and have the tent and sell my pots, and I did.
Johnson creates bowls and cylinders thrown on the traditional potter's wheel, but uses a different process to make decorative flat plates.
I just tried different things, and I think I got bored of having everything being round for so long that now I'm really enamored with square shapes and long shapes and pointy oval shapes, and so I'm having a lot of fun experimenting with those at this point in my career.
Johnson uses very few glazes in her work, instead coating pieces with colored liquid clay and carving through that coating to achieve her contrasts in color. It's a time-consuming process that yields striking results.
I know before I start a piece how it's going to be decorated when I finish it. I can't just make something and then later try and make the decoration fit it, because then the form and the function don't quite go together. And I like things that work as well as being attractive.
Like James, Johnson has served as president of the Art Crafters. She felt it was her responsibility to give back to the group that had given so much to her. And she agrees that the monthly shows are the main focus and high point, both for the member artists and for the public that attends them.
We get a very good response. Typically, a lot of people will come through and say things like, I didn't expect this level of fine work with just from local artists, and people are typically very enthusiastic about our work, and then they're usually doubly pleased to find out that they're all local people.
In recent years, the Art Crafters have expanded that local flavor at their shows by including such local performing artists as the Paradise Coastman Barbershop Chorus. But the purpose of the organization will always remain true, and that, Johnson says, is what makes the Art Crafters such a great group.
Because we are united in a purpose, which is to get together and promote our work and what we do as artists and what we do as fine craftspeople, it's very nice to belong to an organization where everybody has a unified purpose. There's not a whole lot of conflicting things going on here.
The Naples Art Crafters are driven and unified by a dual mission: promoting art and craft within the community and educating the public about the talented artists who live and work here. It's a mission that brings out the best in homegrown art and crafts and puts it on display for all to see.